All right.
Action.
Hey, you're the one saying action now. You're the fucking filmmaker.
I always the one that says action.
Oh wait, yeah.
What are you talking about?
well, you're the one.
I'm still upset that we were
I
texting.
thought that was really clever for a second.
I'm still upset that we were texting and you referred to yourself as Ebert. Like I'm Siskel.
Oh yeah, yeah. I told you.
You're
I
making
said
me Siskel?
because you're making a movie. I said you're no longer Gene Siskel. I thought that'd be a nice thing to say, and you were just really insulted. You're like, how the fuck
No,
am I not Ebert?
Siskel sucks.
Well, with a callback to something you said.
What's that?
I don't know if you remember that. On like the first episode of this or the second episode, you're like, what am I doing with my life? I wanted to make movies, not fucking talk to some fat Jew about like criticizing movies on a pod. And then you're like, I wanted to be Scorsese. Now I'm just fucking Gene Siskel.
Well, in that
you called yourself Gene Siskel, so I was bringing that back.
In that instance, Gene Siskel's the funnier name because he's the shittier guy.
Well, that's why I was trying to be funny. I was trying to, it's just your reference, But I also do think, I don't mean like, it makes fun of me too. But if we're together and we're like, which one's Ebert? Which one's I would get Ebert.
Yeah, I guess so. I just love Ebert. I'm an Ebert
because I'm more insightful.
No, Siskel had some good points.
No, I know. I don't remember Siskel. He loved Fargo and then he died. And then like
that's his tombstone. That's what it says on his stone. He loved Fargo and then he died.
I just know he got that one thing wrong about Fargo. He's like, I love the scene with the Asian guy because it didn't need to be in there. It's like it fucking 100% needed to be in there.
Yeah, you compare me to him.
Yeah, that guy's a fucking idiot. Well, you're no longer that guy. You're now Nancy Myers.
I'm hoping to be Owen Wilson. I want to be Owen Wilson. I put in the movie, but I wrote the movie. I helped write, and helped write. I mean, anyways, I don't want to give away too much stuff here.
Yeah. You're the right. No, you're like Charlie Kaufman before he started going on his own.
One of our requests is to talk about Charlie Kaufman, but I love that spoon just fucking smacked you in the face.
I thought you were doing that about Charlie Kaufman, but you were scoffing at me. I thought you were scoffing at Charlie Kaufman. You're like Charlie Kaufman, but you're just scoffing at my nature.
You know what's weird? I never got super into Charlie Kaufman in that obsessive way, but I love some of his stuff. Like Eternal Sunshine is Charlie Kaufman. I love that.
Yeah, didn't we talk about it last time? I love Adaptation and Big John Malkovich. They're like two of my favorites.
Yeah, those are great. I watched
Eternal Sunshine's good. It's a little emo. You got emo.
Yeah, well, I watched the one that was supposed to be brilliant. It was a hotel. It was like claymation. I saw it in the theater.
Anomalisa. No, it's you know what it is. It's real self-pitying. It's real like life is absurd. I'm gonna die. It's just like a lot of like I'm a sad artist kind of shit.
I really hated it.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? I'm thinking of Ending Things. I couldn't get through that.
Yeah, no, I thought of ending that 2 minutes in. That was
I didn't get it, but people loved it, and so that's one that I'm like, I'm probably in the wrong. I watched it on a weird day. My father's gay. I don't know what happened there.
No. His shit was great when he had other directors because it was like really funny and it was dark and funny. But then once he started directing, he stopped being as funny and he just got real dark and real without the humor. It was just too dark and too self-pitying, his later stuff, in my opinion. Though I've heard Synecdoche, New York, I should watch again. That it's amazing.
Yeah, I think I saw that and then didn't really remember it either. There was a lot of movies I watched in my really dark drinking phase. Like 2009 to 2012. There's a lot of movies I watched.
Can't remember, huh?
Last night, Sarah and I were watching Argo, which is one of those movies I saw in the theater, and you get the goosebumps and you cheer and you go, oh, okay, that was a little silly, but yay. And I watch it now and I'm like, there is like just oozing, dripping, shitting out cheese in that movie.
Yeah, I don't know why people came over it because it was a love letter to Hollywood, I guess, right? Isn't that the whole thing?
I guess
Hollywood. It turns out Hollywood loves love letters to itself or movies that show how important movies are. So if there's a movie about movie making, and especially if it like helps shit, they always come over it. But I don't remember that movie being so good.
It's fun. I got an opinion that people are gonna just really throw hot coffee in my face, or maybe black tea.
Let's hear it.
It's gonna upset people. I mean, I can already feel the tweets, the things. I think you might agree. I hope you'll agree. But every movie I've ever seen this one person in, he's great in a thing. One thing I love. I never saw his other main thing, and all his other shit. He stinks.
Whoa. You're not talking about John Goodman, are you?
I think you can figure it out. No,
You're
Goodman I love. Goodman I love. Are you kidding me? There's a guy. He was
in Argo. I don't remember Argo.
He's in Argo. He stinks in Argo.
And he's great in one thing.
He's in two of the greatest TV shows of all time, one of which I've never seen, but supposedly it's one of the greatest. He's in the greatest show of all time in a few episodes.
Okay, so it's obviously someone from Seinfeld.
Yes.
Someone from Seinfeld. I can't remember Argo that well. This is exciting, though. We're starting with trivia every time now.
This is fun. Everyone else knows. Everyone else is yelling at you.
Really? Fuck. Hold on. I do. Hold on. Someone in Seinfeld who stinks. He's in a couple episodes of Seinfeld. Oh, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston seems like a great guy. I love him in interviews. I love some of his quotes. I never watched Breaking Bad. I'm sure it's terrific. But in movies, he's laugh out loud bad. In Argo, he's literally like, we're a goddamn intelligence agency. Find them.
Is he the military in that?
He's a CIA guy, and he's like the main guy. And he literally, there's a scene where someone goes, well, where does he work? And then Bryan Cranston like turns and the camera, it's not all entirely his fault. It's script and directing, but like the camera comes in. He's like, we're a goddamn intelligence agency. Find them. And you're like, what? And Private Ryan too. I don't get it. He's
I mean, is it possible though? Let me play devil's advocate. Is there any way to say that line well? Is there?
That's what I said. That's why I prefaced.
I mean, like, I also try to say that line well. Try to even just try. You're an actor now. Try to say that line naturally.
We're intelligence agents. Find them. Like, say it with some earnesty. Like, you know what I mean? Like some earnestness. Like, you know, they go, hey, where is this guy? He goes, I don't know where he is.
You can't have a they're building momentum. You can't have someone go, hey, we're an intelligence agency.
But he's
you need that line for the preview. He can't be all fucking.
He like lowers his chin and he's like, find them, damn it. He stinks. And I watched him in Godzilla, and he's similarly like that. That's like a big movie. But like Saving Private Ryan and Argo, I think are supposed to be drama, like real dramas.
Oh, that's right. He's the guy in Saving Private Ryan. Oh,
yeah, he stinks in that one too.
Is he the one missing an arm or no?
No, I think he's like a suit. Isn't he he's like an officer at the beginning? He's one of the guys that brings the letter, I think.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I'll say to that. I think there are some actors, when they're on TV, they're amazing. And then the minute you put them in a movie, you're like, get this douchebag out of here.
That's him.
John Hamm's the same way. He's so great on TV. The minute he's in a movie, you're like, get him out of there. Get him out. And what?
John Hamm in Clear History is amazing. And he's great in the other one, the comedy. I think it's
basically a long TV show.
No, he's great in that.
But like dramatically, he's not great.
Maybe. I don't know.
He can do comedy. He can't do dramatic stuff with weight in like though maybe he can't do that, or maybe the only thing he could do, maybe he's just good at comedy. The only thing he can do dramatically is just Mad Men.
John Hamm is pretty funny and good in comedy for sure. But here's the problem.
I'm trying to agree with you here, but
here's one of the problems with Argo is for Cranston. Kyle Chandler is also in the movie. So Kyle Chandler is like out Cranston and Cranston. Like
you don't get better than Chandler with the military shit. He's the best.
They're like two similar guys playing similar characters, and one is just pitch perfect.
But Chandler's always perfect. You know what Chandler is? You know what he is? Reliable.
He is.
That man is fucking reliable in every fucking movie. He's just you go to Chandler, you get no mistakes. Or with Chandler, you get no. Wait, what's the line from Fargo?
You could not. No, depends on the artist. Jose Feliciano, you got no complaints.
You got no complaints. Yeah, Chandler, you got no complaints.
Chandler wins, but I mean Cranston. I guess if I had watched Breaking Bad, it might be different. I might be like, oh my God, but he's
great in that. Yeah,
he just stinks out loud. And there's something else that he's in that he's supposed to be good in that I'm just like, all right, fine, whatever.
Well, it's weird. He's really good at like TV shows being like a little over the top, like Seinfeld and Malcolm in the Middle. But then he's also really good in Breaking Bad. I don't know. It's a dumb role. Look, Chandler's a really good actor, but he's also really good at playing like fucking military. You know. Mm-hmm. Maybe Cranston's just not good at military, and he just gets cast at that. Maybe he's just miscast.
I don't know why you're defending Cranston. What is he? Is he your roommate? Is he back there?
Well, I don't know. I just feel like, he is, because he is so good and stuff. I'm like, maybe that's just not the right role for him.
He's good in TV, but TV and movie, those are different mediums.
Have you been good in any movies? God.
I don't
What's
even
that?
know
There's that movie where he's in a wheelchair and everyone got mad.
Oh, I'm eating over here. Come on.
Everyone got mad because he didn't break his legs before he was in the movie or whatever, or he wasn't
right.
He wasn't really handicapped.
That looks so bad. It looks so bad. And then in the Linklater thing, Flags of Our Fathers. I can't talk right now.
No, that's not what it's called. That's the Clint Eastwood movie. It's called Running
The
Away,
Last Flag Flying.
What is it?
Last Flag or something like that.
Something, yeah.
But that one was pretty good, but he's just whatever.
Remember they got mad at him because he wasn't like actually handicapped for that movie? Here's my argument. I mean, obviously you're not gonna like disagree with me on this, but like here's my argument against that. A movie has to sell tickets. You have to have actors to make movies.
Of course.
There's no like famous fucking handicapped actors. You can't just get Joe Blow in a wheelchair in a big fucking Hollywood movie. Like no one's gonna watch it.
No, that's the case with all of these.
Actors is what they don't know how Hollywood works. You have to have an actor attached. That's how it works. That's how anything gets made.
Of course, that's the case with every instance of someone being like, "What? Matt Damon's playing a superhero or whatever."
Why did they get this real transgender person from regional theater in Ohio? Because they don't sell tickets.
If you want to see how badly a movie does with no stars, wait till you see this piece of shit we're making. I literally, by the way, the Reddit page, there's like it like leaked on Reddit because Soul Joel, whatever, and people watch this, but someone was like, no one's making a movie with Joe List. I'll tell you that right now. You don't go from making movies with John Malkovich to making movies with Joe List. So,
well, you're doing what I'm saying. Yeah, you've chosen an actor with a real Boston accent, but someone, who no one knows.
Yeah, it's not going to sell any tickets. There's not even going to be tickets. The tickets don't even exist. It's not even going to be a ticketed event. It's going to be.
I would love for people not to show up.
Yeah, shit. But whatever. I don't want to give out too much info. We had a paparazzi show up the other day at the taping.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Nice.
Sarah and I are gonna be over any minute.
They're already following you. You're already a celebrity. That's great.
It's not good. It's gonna be bad.
Well, so you think it's gonna be like a news story? Should we not? Maybe we shouldn't be talking about this. Well, I guess it's too late now.
Good point. Well, whatever. It'll be in like Us Weekly, and someone will take a shit on my Twitter or whatever. But
can I tell you something for like a personal thing? Like
people are listening, but sure.
Yeah. Someone slid into my Okay, I gotta tell you a quick story. Someone slid into my DMs at when I was at Good Nights.
Okay.
Right, and they're like, "I was looking for you on Bumble," and I looked at it, and I thought at first it was a transgender person, right?
Okay, sure.
And then I looked closely and I realized it was a female bodybuilder.
Ooh.
But she wasn't transgender, but she got upset a lot because people think she's transgender. I mean, she also like shaves her hair a little on this side.
Okay.
But she looks kind of like from the back, she looks like a man, but she is a woman, but she's a bodybuilder, So anyway, I went on a date with her.
Sounds like a setup for a joke. It sounds like a street joke.
No joke. I went on a date with her.
How'd it go?
It was interesting. We walked around. She said she was married. I got a little confused. She said she was married, but I didn't know how to bring that up. But it was in North Carolina, and people were looking at us, Like some people were looking at us, and I felt like an interracial couple in the 50s, because people thought like I was with a transgender, even though I wasn't. She was a woman, but it was interesting. And I was like, after she came back, I asked her if she wanted to go up to the hotel room. Oh, and she said she'd have a drink in the lobby. But then I said, "Oh, by the way, you're vaccinated, right?" And she said, "Hell no."
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So then we kind of ended there. But it was interesting. A female bodybuilder. She's competing in Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. Or Philadelphia.
Maybe she could train you a little bit.
She had some notes. She had some suggestions.
Good. Somebody needs to give you some.
Yeah.
How about this, by the way? I'm shooting this movie. I appear shirtless in the film. I pinched a nerve in my shoulder last week, so I haven't been able to work out in like 8 days. I'm gonna look like mush. I'm gonna look like Ebert.
You'll be fine. I mean, you're not gonna be able to get that much muscle in 8 days anyway, are you?
Well, I looked pretty good before.
Oh, you're saying you're going to deflate, kind of.
I'm crumbling, or whatever the word is. Plus, I've been eating shit. We shoot like these 12-hour days. So by the time you're done, I just eat like a fucking massive chicken parm and fall asleep. I look like shit.
Do you have catering there?
It's called Crafty.
Oh shit.
Craft Services.
All right.
Jesus, that's embarrassing.
I sound like your uncle. Yeah, got catering there. Fucking, all right.
Catering.
All right.
Yikes. We'll
Look, I'm just a movie critic. I'm not a big filmmaker like you.
All right. I'm sensing some tension. I don't like it.
There's a divide now. I'm a critic. We're enemies. We're across a picket line.
Well, you might want to be nice because from what I understand, you've written a bunch of bullshit. I might be able to get something made after this thing blows up. But now I'm not even
sure.
All
right. I'll start pretending to be nice.
I'm embarrassed by this question. I got a question from a good friend of mine, Patrick Holbert. Do you know him?
I think so.
He's a comedian, Brooklyn guy.
I think so. Yeah.
Handsome. He asked, any interest in digging into S. Craig Zahler? I don't even know who this is.
I don't know who that is. Well, you're usually insulted if it's someone you would know. Like, have you ever heard of Orson Welles or something? But I mean, I don't know him. Who is it?
Oh, all right. I don't know. This is why I was worried.
Well, why are you insulted?
He's an author, filmmaker, musician. I wasn't insulted. I'm worried that I don't know who this person is.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard of him. Craig.
Maybe he's fucking with me. He said, I'm fascinated by this man. He's an author, filmmaker, musician, very creative. Craig Zahler, Zahler. Sounds like one of yours.
But it doesn't? Zahler? Zahler. I guess so. Maybe. Zahler.
Maybe. I don't know.
I got to do it in the voice.
I'm just glad you don't know.
I'm not. Yeah. And I know a decent amount, right?
Yeah. You know more than me. I've
never heard of this guy.
All right. Well, that makes me feel better. Well, we're not interested in digging into him, I guess. I think we get this question a lot. This is from Seymour Krelborn.
That's Seymour Krelborn is Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, fun.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's Little Shop, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know Little Shop of Horrors by heart because
I think that's Little Shop of Horrors.
I'm not a fucking nerd.
Little Shop of Horrors. It's a great show.
Yeah, you're a great show. All right. Well, he asked, I think we get this a lot. What's the worst movie to win Best Picture / Screenplay? Likewise, the worst performance to win the acting categories. Conversely, what are the best movies, screenplays, directors, performances not to win or even be nominated? I mean, of course, Goodfellas, Raging Bull are the best movies to not win.
Goodfellas, right? Yeah, Goodfellas, Raging Bull. I mean,
Fargo,
which
the corresponding English Patient is not a great Best Picture.
No, Ray Fiennes as an actor losing was a huge upset to me. The Piano was to be a huge one. I mean, The Piano won Best Director, Best Screenplay, Best Actor, and somehow Chicago got Best Picture. It doesn't even make sense. They're just saying all these pieces are the right ones, but then they give it to Chicago,
I guess they like it to be happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
They like it to be.
I mean, I'm not going to complain that Polanski didn't get enough awards. You can't but that was my issue with that. In terms of the ones that didn't deserve it, I don't know, like half the movies in the 90s, Forrest Gump, Good Will Hunting for screenplay, Braveheart. Pretty much, yeah. I feel like most movies don't deserve Best Picture.
Braveheart. What was great in '95? All I know is Heat.
I mean, I would give Heat over Braveheart.
I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying, what was the great movie?
I don't know. I don't have that.
It's interesting because '94 is so amazing, which we've talked about plenty. I think the first category we ever did was 1994.
Yeah, but I'm sure 95. I feel like every year in the 90s has some great ones.
Yeah.
I mean, what did the 90s get right? They got right. Oh, Mystic River should have won over Lord of the Rings.
Mystic River wasn't the 90s.
Oh, it was 2000. It was 2000.
I don't know what you're talking about. What did they get right? I mean, Schindler's List.
Yeah.
93. I mean, Silence of the Lambs.
They got 91. Those two right. I think that's it.
I think that's Shakespeare in Love over Saving Private Ryan.
Right?
What? You'd like Saving Private Ryan better than Shakespeare in Love? Shakespeare in Love.
No, but there was something else that year. There was something else. That's
what? Chocolat or some bullshit? Shakespeare in Love is fucking amazing.
Boys Don't Cry. Boys Don't Cry should have won.
Shut up.
Yeah, I love Boys Don't Cry.
You would.
I saw it with my grandma. It was very uncomfortable. Have you ever seen a movie where a woman gets raped with your grandma watching?
Yeah, every year we watch our home. Shakespeare in Love is fucking amazing. What are you shitting on Shakespeare in Love? I love that movie.
It's a fun movie, but it did deserve Best Picture.
I don't remember. We got to do some research on this. I don't remember what else, but I remember it upset Saving Private Ryan, and I was thrilled because it's better than Saving Private Ryan because Saving Private Ryan features fucking dumb Bryan Cranston.
Well, Saving Private Ryan just has a great beginning and ending, basically, or two great action sequences.
Well, almost ending. The ending is
the ending is shit, but like
fucking-
it just has two.
is LOL.
Spielberg is so good at action, like those sequences, that it like made people think it was overall a good movie. But wait, you know a fun little fact about Shakespeare in Love?
Mhm.
So Edward Zwick was one of the producers. He's the guy who did a Courage Under Fire, and Harvey Weinstein had a lot of beef with him. So Harvey Weinstein had it so in the credits. Remember the credits is whatever finds his younger brother running around the city. He's like walking around the city, the town square in the credits. Harvey Weinstein had it so Edward Zwick's name pops up right when the guy steps in shit in the opening credits.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Like he literally made it like that to fuck with the guy.
Oh, wait, you're saying the opening credits. So, Rafe Fiennes' his brother Joe Fiennes.
Yeah, he's like walking around the
Are they brothers?
Yeah, they're brothers.
I thought they were father and son.
No, they're brothers. Father and son. They're not.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. But it's either shit or mud. But either way, he steps in it, and over it is the name Edward Zwick. Yeah.
Wow, that guy. You just convinced me. That guy's a bad guy.
Well, you know what's funny? I read that book about him called about the independent films in the 90s. And it made him look like this is how bad Harvey Weinstein is. It made him look like the worst person ever. And there was not one mention of sexual assault. Not one mention.
Wow.
He was just awful outside of all that shit.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressively shitty guy.
Bad journalist.
Have you ever drank Lady Grey tea?
No. Is that no, I have not drunk.
It's like an Earl Grey. It's called Lady Grey. It tastes like orange soda. It's so
Really?
fucking. It's weird. It's freaking me out.
That's yeah. I've never, that's a gray tea?
Smell
Or
this.
black tea? Yeah. The black tea?
Yeah, it's a black tea. Earl Grey. You know Earl Grey.
I know. Oh, this is the lady. This is white.
This is like this is supposed to be like a spin-off. It's their very own thing. But Earl Grey has a tint of orange.
Kind of a pussy tea to be drinking. I mean, I guess there's no really badass teas.
It's black tea. It's black. This is like hardcore. Just
But it's like Lady Grey. I don't know. If you're drinking a
well, at least I don't like Boys Don't Cry. I mean, first it tastes like Pepsi though, but tea is tea and black tea is like hardcore. You're going by the name. That's fucked up.
Oh, let me tell you this bullshit real quickly. I know this movie content, but let me just rant real quickly. And this person's great, whatever. But an ex of mine, she's great. But we had dinner. Tell me this. This is totally breaking COVID etiquette to the 10th degree. We had dinner. The next day, we outside, but we still hug. The next day, she texts me. These texts always happen right before you go on stage. She texts me, just letting you know, I woke up coughing and with a fever. I got the PCR, but it won't get back for 3 days. She didn't get a rapid.
That's insane. Hey, that is insane. Also,
Insane, right?
PCR test. Where is she going? You can get PCRs come back in like 8 hours.
She's going to like Ruben's like fucking week-long test bullshit. And I'm like, first of all, don't tell me anything unless you have a test result. Don't just tell me you're sick and that you're going to find the results in 3 to 5 business days.
I
had
agree.
to like freak out for like, I told her, I straight up said to her, I was like, you broke COVID etiquette. You can't do this.
Yeah, big time. And what is this, May of 2020? Who has a test that comes back 4 days later?
It's insane. It's insane. I finally got a PCR 3 days later. They got it back immediately. But also get a fucking rapid. Just to like, the rapid's negative. Just let you know the rapid's negative. Or more importantly, don't tell me. Do not tell me you're sick. I don't want to hear about anyone unless you have it, then tell me. But otherwise, we're all like telling each other everything now, and it's making us all fucking anxious. We need to keep shit to ourselves.
Well, I had a thing. So we're shooting this film. It's a sci-fi that we're shooting in Vermont. And day 2, it's a long day. I mean, this is work, these people.
Yeah.
We're getting up 6 a.m. call time, 7 a.m. call time. 12-hour days.
Fishing? Why is it so early?
12-hour days. And it's just all day. And John Candy, one of the great deliveries of all time. You're dumb. So I come back. I finished the second day. So it's 24 hours of filming in 2 days. And you're just exhausted and wiped. And I text my wife, I'm coming home. And she texts, hey, the guy I was with Sunday, we hugged goodbye. We spent 3 hours together. He's sick as a dog. COVID. Worst night of my life. I didn't sleep for a minute because if it gets shut down, the movie's over. I mean, forget my career. I'm going to be back podcasting with you. And as soon as it ended, it was literally the first, that first moment where you feel like it's over. Let me text my wife. And then the text back is, I might have COVID.
These people, I mean, no offense to Sarah, but they text you at the worst fucking time. I got this text right before I went on stage indoors to a packed room. So I just assume I'm killing everyone in there. Like, it's just fucking like, anyway, did you get tested?
Oh, I've been tested every day. We have to get tested every day. And then there was an email went out like, heads up, everybody, the production is tainted. Everybody,
wait, because of you?
Out. Well, because I've been exposed, but we're all good now. We're fine. We didn't get it. She was good about wearing a mask inside, and then they hung out outside. She was so paranoid that it worked out.
Oh, if she wore her mask the whole time.
Yeah,
and they hung. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
But isn't it a bummer about the vac? My uncle, he's a paramedic, young, healthy guy, vaccinated. He's sick. He's got it, and he lost his taste and smell.
Here's the truth: and people thought the vaccination wore off. That's what happened. They wore off. You got to get a booster shot now. It's like they start to wear off. They're not as effective. But which one did you get?
Moderna. That's number one.
Good. That's the one that's actually like these Pfizer people. They were so smug. Turned out to be the fucking worst one. Yeah. Like it's down to like 40% effective or something.
Oh,
I know. I don't even want to talk to them. Yeah, but Moderna like
fucks up Delta. The Moderna fucking takes Moderna and shoves it up its ass and shits it out.
I know. We're doing okay. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna get the John Candy people on me again, but I watched the John Candy performance that makes me hate him all over again. He fucking sucks. I'm glad he's dead.
You watch Spaceballs?
No. You think he's bad in that?
No, I just thought that might be what you watched.
His worst performance. Granted, it's the dumbest dialogue ever, but fucking JFK. Terrible.
JFK.
Oh, that performance. Daddy-o.
Cock-a-doodle-doo all over you. Good day to you, sir.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
Christ.
I love him in the movie.
Christ. Oh, my God.
You love JFK? Are you one of these guys that doesn't like JFK?
I think it's so stupid.
I can't even wrap my head around watching that movie.
I mean, it's entertaining, kind of, but just kind of like none of this is. It's just like I just feel like it's a movie lying to me, but like it's just incorrect. But that performance is ridiculous. He fucking sucks. I take it all back. Fuck John Candy. Anyway,
he's great. You don't know what you're talking about. I saw The Night House last night. Have you seen that?
Oh, how is that? It got good reviews.
Like every horror movie, it's good. I saw it with Sarah and our producer. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. I would enjoy a 90-minute horror movie where nothing is ever explained. It always goes wrong when they start explaining. And it's her husband shot himself in the head, and now he's like haunting her dreams. She's having these fucked up dreams, and it's really crazy. And is he in the house? And there's whispers and the thing. And then all of a sudden, 70 minutes in, here comes Satan. It's just like, all right, fine. I'm really enjoy the hell out of it. And then they're like, all right, well, we have to have a reason. So, okay, she finds the book with like the moon or whatever. I'm like, get out of here.
Some kind of ethnic person to explain it all at some point. They usually do that. They usually have some fucking voodoo Caribbean guy to come out and explain it. We won't listen to white people about that shit. But if you bring in a fucking Samoan, he'll just explain all the ghost shit. And we're like, he probably knows what he's talking about.
Well, here's my thing with the race stuff is her like neighbor. I think he's like a neighborhood caretaker or whatever. He's friend of the family, black guy. They kind of allude to maybe he's a little suspicious. He's like, hey, don't go over there. There's no houses over there. And she's like, oh, and then she's like, I found a house. What were you talking about? But here's the thing that's hard. And I'm not saying anything about anything, but I'm like, I 100% know he's not in on the bad because you can't do that. There's no way a black man is going to be.
You're right. It kind of ruins it. You watch it, a black man in a horror movie, you're like, there's no way he's going to get killed. Definitely not first. Like if there's a suspenseful thing with him, know he's not going to, he's protected from the first kill now, right? Yes. And then he's not going to. Yeah, that's a great point.
I'm like, there's no way the twist is the black man did it. I'm like, there's no way. It's zero. So I'm like, okay, he's a good guy for sure. And it was fun. I mean, I really enjoyed the first 70 minutes. And then just like we talked about with all these movies, it's like it's time to explain it and have it climax.
The explanation of the horror movie is the hardest part. You have to have some weird old woman say some weird ghosts are like flashlights, and if you stay in the, it's just weird, her soul is here, like just weird bullshit. We've talked about this, I think, but there's only one movie to really do it right, I think, in terms of that.
The Strangers?
Well, no, because that's not. I mean, with something supernatural.
Oh,
I mean, Shining does it right in the sense that it never really explains shit. But like, to me, the best movie to do it right is Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, right. We talked about that last.
Rosemary's Baby. It waits to the last 5 minutes to explain it. That's all. If you just, not even the last 2 minutes. It's literally 2 minutes.
Right.
It's just, it doesn't give you enough time to be like, this is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like just the perfect amount of time for then the credits to hit, and that's the way to do it. You got to put it at the very end.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a fun movie, whatever. I don't know. People will hate me, I'm sure, but
I'm excited to see it. I want to see that. I want to see Stillwater.
Oh, yeah. Stillwater's supposed to be good.
That preview looks great.
Did you know the other one that's coming out with Matt Damon where he's a knight and he's fighting Adam Driver, that him and Bat Affleck wrote together?
Yeah.
That's their second movie. They wrote Good Will Hunting and then a knight's fight for the last woman or something.
Yeah. That's weird that they wanted to work together again. I thought it was kind of well known that Ben Affleck didn't do shit in the movie, like write it. Maybe I'm wrong.
See, I hate that because I feel like that's what's going to happen in my movie. People are going to be like, who's this dick?
Yeah. No, well, yeah, of course. It's going to be all the reviews from the mind of Louis C.K.
Well, what's the problem is I'm so much like Affleck. We're both from Boston, hot, sex symbol guys who aren't going to get the credit and love we deserve.
Well, they always remember that. It's always, that's what screenwriters in general. Every Clint Eastwood movie is like, Clint Eastwood has done it again. Where do you think up this shit? It's like he has a screenwriter every fucking time. Not to say Louis didn't work on the script in this situation, but I mean, like, screenwriters just get forgotten. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, most people. I talk about with Owen Wilson, with Wes Anderson. People are like, Owen Wilson wrote the movies.
Yeah, he might have had the whole thing.
You never know.
Yeah, but
All right, we should try to get to some of these questions.
Yeah.
This was interesting, but whatever. Wait, what's the best old star? This one I'm just seeing now. Old star, young star combo in a movie ever. For example, his is Tom Cruise, Paul Newman in Color of Money.
I feel like it's definitely Rushmore, right?
Oh, that's a good one. Bill Murray,
Rushmore, right?
Schwartzman, yeah. I mean, that's pretty amazing. That's a great one. What about also Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson?
Well, you know how I feel about that movie.
You don't like that movie? Did we talk about this?
I don't like that movie.
That's like the dumbest take. I don't even understand.
A hot girl in fucking Japan looking mopey. I don't like it. It's boring. But
I can't even understand you sometimes. I just assume. With Lost in Translation, you just assume somebody likes it.
No, I don't like kind of like slow movies where there's like long. I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot going on in that movie. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah, like Sideways, which is just a fucking action a minute. Just fireworks and explosions.
But Sideways has this like amazing screenplay that's actually very well structured. Like Lost in Translation doesn't have that. It's like all over the place. It's just kind of very slow and meandering.
Oh, it's touching and beautiful.
But I gotta rewatch it. So maybe we'll put it on the podcast.
Rewatch it. For God's sakes.
But I'm trying to, but that's a good one. What's another?
What
Rushmore is the ultimate one.
Yeah, Rushmore's pretty great. I mean, Unforgiven, you love Clint Eastwood, whoever that young asshole is. I don't even know who it is.
But the young asshole barely is. I mean, that's not the big core of the movie, I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of some here. I'm thinking of Cowboys, Old Men.
It's like an old man and a kid. What's a good
old man? And the young people.
It's hard when they're both great. That's the thing. In Rushmore, they're both great. Equally great. Like Unforgiven, I don't remember that young guy. I mean, he's good, but it's not like a big part of it. So I'm trying to think of when it's like, when are they both equally great?
Yeah. It's got to be one of these, like, you teach the kid something, you teach a young man something. I mean, like Darth Vader and Mark Hamill, whoever Darth Vader, James Earl Jones / Billy Joel, whoever the guy is at the end.
He does kind of look like Billy Joel.
That's
Rushmore. There's no other one.
I know, but I'm trying to have a conversation here.
All
So
right,
we can
fine.
kill some time here. We
Okay,
got a
all right.
podcast to do.
What did he say? Tom Cruise and Paul Newman.
Tom Cruise and Paul Newman. And
Well, I guess you could go through every Tom Cruise movie from that period.
I know. I was thinking that Robert Duvall and Tom Cruise. I mean, Marlon Brando, Michael Corleone. I mean, I used the character name and an actor name. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty compelling.
Yeah.
In the Garden.
That's a great one. That's a great one. But that's not like the core of the movie about an old. You know, there's so much other shit going on in that movie.
Well, I feel like the core of the movie. He just
what
said.
Did he say?
He said best duo.
Best duo. I guess I don't think of them as like a duo in it, but yeah.
That's father and son. That's a duo.
It's not fucking Bing Crosby and Bob Hope going on the road.
Well, my dad and I are no duo. I'll tell you that.
I don't know. I mean, but yeah, I guess. I mean, yeah, they have like 2 scenes together, but yeah.
Okay, no, they got a couple scenes.
What's the one about like an old miserable guy and a young? I mean, I just watched Fat City, but that movie is just depressing and made me want to kill myself.
Yeah. Plus, no one's like, oh yeah, Fat City. Well, Mickey and Rocky. I mean, Mickey and Rocky. That's something. Burgess Meredith and Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a good one.
What about Louis and I was talking about one of the best lines of the movie, where he goes to the house to plea to be his manager, and in the middle of his speech, he goes, I want to be a manager. You understand that, Rock? He's like, because they didn't have a manager. Look at this. I got the thumb in my eye. I got a guy stuck his nail. I want to be a manager. Do you understand? It's fucking so funny.
Every boxing movie is, I mean, even though Fat City made me want to kill myself, but every boxing movie is pretty good. Is there a bad boxing movie?
The Jake Gyllenhaal one I didn't watch, but it didn't look great. It didn't get great reviews.
But Raging Bull is amazing. $1 Million Baby, Rocky. Those are 3 like classics.
I can name a few that aren't great. Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, Apollo Creed.
But Cinderella Man's good. The Rocky when it comes back is good. Creed is whatever it's called. That's good. I guess Fat City.
Well, boxing is compelling, and then there's
the most dramatic of all the sports movies.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah, I mean it's 2 people punching each other. That's pretty. It's just a fight. So
baseball, you're a communist, so you don't know much about it. But baseball has so many great movies. A League of Their Own, amazing. Bull Durham, amazing. Field of Dreams, amazing. Major League, amazing.
Compare that to Raging Bull and like Rocky and $1 Million Baby, though.
Well, $1 Million Baby, I don't care for, but Raging Bull,
I don't care for Rocky.
It's like a cross country. You don't care for Rocky.
I don't care for Rocky. Yeah, I'm that crazy about.
That's insane. I don't even understand.
You know what Paulie Kael said about Rocky? She said, he said he wrote it in 3 days, and boy, can you tell.
I don't understand that. Like, expound on that. How is it badly written?
I don't know. I haven't seen it a lot. It's okay movie. I like it. I just don't. I'm not big on the inspirational movies. I like $1 Million Baby. She breaks her neck at the end. That's what.
But I think people confuse Rocky 1. I think this is what happens with people that don't understand.
I know he loses. They
conflate. The movies. They conflate, and he creates his own thing of just what a victory would be to him. I mean, it's so cliche, and it's not inspirational. There's like 1% of it is fighting. It's interesting though. You know what? Depressing. I mean, fuck breaking her neck. That never happens. This guy is sad, and she is sad. And that beautiful scene where he runs out to grab Mickey. It's just so beautiful.
But here's the thing. The truth is, I don't fucking remember it, so it's hard to talk. I got to rewatch it for the podcast.
Well, then what are you talking about it for?
Well, I remember having issues at the time, but I was like, I got to rewatch.
The only issue you could possibly have with Rocky is that the initial scene where they have sex, he basically rapes her, which is it's pretty. I mean, he really corners her. She keeps trying to leave and wanting to leave and saying she's going to leave, and he kind of corners her and then takes her glasses off and they kiss and fall on the ground. But after that, they're cool. So
it's like a rape scene, but then suddenly like romantic music starts playing. So it's just Well, I mean, that's making me want to rewatch it. So I'll watch it. We'll do it next.
It's incredible.
All right, we'll do it next. But yeah, I still go with Rushmore. There's nothing better than Rushmore in terms of that.
Rushmore's a good call. Good call.
Can't get better than Rushmore.
Someone says, where do you rank High Fidelity as movies about music, etc.? I mean, I rank High Fidelity like
number one.
As far as a movie about music, I mean.
Oh well, no, because Almost Famous is up there too. Almost Famous probably high.
I mean, there are so many about
High Fidelity is amazing. I also read that book like 5 times. The book's great and the movie's great. They're both great. It's an incredible thing.
I mean, yeah, I don't even categorize it as like a music movie or anything, but Almost Famous, High Fidelity, two of the best movies ever, two of my favorite movies. I love High Fidelity. It
It's
works
amazing.
on so many levels.
Well, that's Stephen Frears, man. Stephen Frears is great. You know his other stuff?
What's some of his other stuff?
He did The Grifters, which is amazing with John. Have you seen that? John Cusack and
Oh
Angelica
yeah,
Houston.
isn't Gene Hackman
That
in
movie's
that movie?
fucking no, that's something else. But that's something else. But that's great. He did God, what else is he's done a lot of great movies. None of them are
Oh,
coming
the
to my head.
boy, is that him?
No, that's Nick. That's a movie based on the book by the guy who wrote High Fidelity, Nick
Nick
Hornby.
Hornsby.
Yeah, who's great. All his stuff is great. Yeah, yeah. Do you know him? You'd love him. He's a big music guy. Has a lot of great stuff about music.
I confuse. So Hornsby is the book, and Frears is the
Nick
director.
Hornby is the writer of High Fidelity, the book. Stephen Frears is a British director who made The Grifters, and he made High Fidelity, and he made The Queen. You know The Queen?
I don't think I do. Which one's the queen? There's so many.
With Helen Mirren.
I know there's Helen Mirren's a queen, and fucking then there's Queen, the music movie.
No,
Then
the
there's,
Helen
like,
Mirren, the Queen, the old cunt, her, not the young.
Isn't Judi Dench been a queen about 7 times? Also,
She was the queen. Well, they both, I think, won the Academy Award for it.
Well, she
was
won for the
for
best
Shakespeare in
short-
Love.
and 8 minutes of screen time, like
8
the
minutes of
shortest
screen
amount of screen
time.
time. Yeah.
But Helen Mirren won, and she did 120 minutes of screen time. So I guess Judi Dench really won ultimately because she got the same thing for a lot
But
less.
there's just so many queen. Every 10 minutes is a new movie with a queen.
Well, now there's a crowd, which is all that Queen Elizabeth has got a lot of she's got a lot of play.
Yeah, just a lot of queen shit, and there's lesbian queens, and the new queen, and the badass queen, and the fat
Yeah.
queen. It's all queens.
A lot of queens.
I
But
look at queens.
yeah, Stephen Frears. There's a couple other movies he made that are amazing. I can't think of the titles now, but he's done some other amazing shit. You know what we also have to do on this podcast? One of my favorites, Jim Sheridan.
I love Jim Carrey.
Jim Sheridan. You know Jim Sheridan?
No, I know Taylor Sheridan. Isn't that a guy that made the other movie?
Yeah, that's the guy who makes those crime movies and set in different places that are really good. Jim Sheridan did My Left Foot, which I've been trying to get you to watch for like the last 4 years.
Right.
My Left Foot with Daniel Day-Lewis, and this other movie, In America. I'm telling you, you'll be in tears with both those movies.
You watched any of those Yorgos movies yet?
No.
All right. Good talking to you.
Well, will I be in tears during that cold, fucking autistic, cerebral bullshit?
No, you'll be enjoying it. But some guy wrote in, he's like, I don't understand why you like Killing of a Sacred Deer, and I guarantee Raanan hates it.
Well,
So-
I will watch it, but you don't understand how much I hate The Lobster. It was like
I understand. We talked about it.
I broke up with a girl because she liked it. We were on a date, and I didn't get a second date.
What's the, one asked? I can't find it, but one asked, what movie do you wish you could have been on the set of? Which I would say Goodfellas, just because it's my favorite movie. I mean, who wouldn't want to be there for that?
Any Coen Brothers movie. I just want to see how they work together because that's such a mystery.
Right.
Doing what? I've heard that Ethan has the golden ears. Like he's the one who's more of the dialogue guy, and Joel is more of the big picture. But I would just love to be on set and just see how they interact with each other.
Isn't it you that told me that one of them holds the boom because it's the closest he can be to the movie?
No, I didn't tell you that.
Who said that? Somebody said it. I can't remember.
Louis? Are you confusing me with Louis?
I don't think so. But one of them said one of them will like operate the boom, but that doesn't really make sense because now that I've been on a
No,
movie
that's
set, you
insane.
can stand right there. It's also like a horrific manual
Also-
labor job.
Yeah, that's not a direct. No, yeah.
Like a 60-year-old Jew is holding up the boom over his head.
Ethan holds the bagels at craft services, and yeah, no, I don't think they're. But yeah, aren't you just curious? I'm just curious to know how they interact.
Yeah, I guess so. I would like to know more because yeah, it's the same thing we talked about earlier. Who wrote more? Who wrote what? Whose ideas? What?
Well, I actually, it's a kind of an amazing question because think about how, like, all the classic movies, how incredible if you went back in time and were on set for those movies and just seeing them like figure out something that then becomes so famous. Like that actually is would be an incredible. I mean, obviously it's an incredible experience you're going through time, but like that would have been so amazing, you know?
I mean, I want to be on the set of any movie. The thing about making a movie is the most fucking fascinating thing to me because there's so many jobs and everyone's doing their own job and it all comes together. Like the DP never knows anything about the art department. Like, and then the art
Yeah.
department, someone they got to write an article in the newspaper. When someone picks up the newspaper and goes, "What the hell? Did you see this?" There has to be an article there. So there's
Yeah.
like a guy whose job it is to write a fake newspaper article and take an old high school photo of Matt Damon and slap a wig on it and make it look like a photo. So we can be like, "Look at how young I look," or whatever.
Ah, that's the art department. I never even
Yeah,
really
and
knew.
then they gotta they gotta find a whiskey bottle that looks like it's from 1987 and a baseball uniform, whatever. And then you have the DP. He just shows up and shoots whatever's there in front of him.
The DP's really just talking to the director, right?
Yes, and the camera operators and stuff. He's the head of the camera department, basically.
Right.
Then there's like people that are just literally doing manual labor. Like there's day
Yeah.
laborers on there. They got the gloves on the little fucking hiking thing on their belt.
Gophers and PAs. Yeah, the gophers and shit.
Yeah,
They're called gophers. They're called rodents. That's how insulting it is to them.
And then there's this like a 22-year-old kid up the street who's like, "Please don't walk home right now."
I did that job at I Am Legend.
I know it's crazy. So just being part of I'd like to go. I wish I could be on the set of like Braveheart or one of those fucking Ben-Hur or some bullshit. It's just so insane
cool.
to see.
Well, I mean,
people with their faces painted.
But imagine just saying like just a famous like John Goodman and Big Lebowski and them doing that and getting the right shot. You know what I mean? Like and that would just be incredible. But yeah, that would yeah. I guess I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. What's the best movie to see? I mean, obviously, like, yeah, I don't know.
Comedies would be hard because I feel like I'd be the guy that just starts dying laughing, and then like Jeff Bridges is pissed at me.
Well, also you'd see like an actor like get the take right because you know that's the take that's in the movie, but then the director keeps on going, and you just want to be like, no, you got it, trust me.
Oh, that's
the one. So it'd be very weird to watch. But yeah, no, I mean any of those. Yeah, I guess you're right. Braveheart would be a pretty incredible to see all those horses run. Yeah.
The craziest movie ever. Now that I've played the lead in a film, The Revenant has to be the most insane fucking movie ever.
Yeah.
Like there's no lighting. There's no like Leonardo DiCaprio was like crawling on his hands and knees through like a 40-degree river, like in Argentina.
Well, I think they just gave him the Oscar because he just went through some shit. It was like the first time that they gave an Oscar, not for like the performance, but just for like, all right, you really were asking for it. You know what I mean? Like, because he just like did some crazy shit on that.
That was a great Colin Quinn. He said, "Canada is the only country that ever got its freedom by asking nicely."
Wait, what did they do?
They got their freedom by asking nicely.
I guess I don't really get it. How did they get their from England?
I believe so.
Okay.
But the French were involved. I'm up here in Lake George. Whoops, we'll bleep that. I don't want these paparazzi showing up. But near Lake George, not on Lake George.
Mm-hmm.
And
good save.
I just learned that the French and the English were in a huge war here, and the French beat the shit out of the English, and so the English started taxing the people here more.
Oh, really?
And that's what caused the American Revolution. So
we're really
the French.
Oh, so the French were really the ones, and then the French took our sides during the American Revolution. Really, the French really fucked with the English. They kicked their ass and took our side after they taxed us to get money back.
But also, yeah, so there is no Canadian Revolution. Like the Canadians didn't spill blood into the streets to get their freedom.
You know what's funny about the American Revolution? Oh, no, not the American Revolution. Wait, yes, the American Revolution. The British said any slaves you fought for them, they would free them. So we were totally the bad guys in the American Revolution because we were the ones kind of fighting for slavery. And then the British were like, if we win, we'll free you all.
But did they mean it, though?
I think they meant it.
We'll never know. They didn't win.
Well, we'll never know. But I mean, it was, basically the American Revolution was fighting for, to keep slaves.
Well, it's too bad we won the revolution because the British just dress better than us. They're very funny people. They all got like Ted Bakers and tailored suits. I'm walking around upstate New York. It's just a garbage fire up here. Everyone's wearing Crocs and sweatpants and spilling out of their shirt.
It's so funny too that like because we are like different from them, they have to hold what their like their old tradition. So they're still doing like wigs at court just to like just to be different than us. And they just have to commit to that. So still in today, a judge puts on a wig before going to court. like an
Yeah, it's
actual
goofy.
wig. It's just so they don't look like Americans. Yeah.
Well, we got some
But
insane
anyway,
shit too, right? I mean,
yeah, it's true. I mean, we got the gown's pretty silly too, honestly.
it's all very silly. How about this? This guy asked thoughts on Terry Gilliam. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Brazil, 12 Monkeys, Time Bandits.
Well, 12 Monkeys is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Is that true?
That's true. I love 12 Monkeys.
Me too.
Love it. It's the best. It's so underrated.
I mean,
the best.
I mean, top 10's insane. It's not the best. It's good. It's very good.
It's a deep, fucking tragic, sad, beautiful movie. Bruce Willis is incredible. I love it. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I love 12 Monkeys. Probably most underrated sci-fi movie of all time, right? Neck and neck with Children of Men. But Brazil, I think, is very good. I'm not crazy about his other movies. I think Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is legitimately bad.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't think they got the comedy right. I mean, I love that book, and like, I don't know. They just didn't. It just the comedy doesn't really translate the way he did it. And I don't know what his other movies. I don't think I saw
Time Bandits. I don't really know.
I saw
that
Adventures of Baron Munchausen. That was pretty good. Fisher King. I don't know. He made one. In my opinion, he made one just masterpiece, which is 12 Monkeys. And the other movies are pretty good. And Brazil's really good.
I would agree. This person wrote best and worst movie nudity. I mean, that's tough. I mean, best. I mean, again, we talk about Sideways. We obviously love Sideways. Sideways.
Well, what do you mean best? Like hottest or they don't mean hottest. Like, what do they mean?
I don't know. Best and worst. That's the whole question.
Well, you obviously went with funniest, right?
I mean, that's pretty good nudity. I mean, it's hilarious and it's amazing. That guy, I just watched that guy in something else. Oh, he's in his first movie too, Alexander Payne.
He's in Election?
No, the one before that.
I mean, he's in Citizen Ruth?
Yes.
Oh, is he the
he's
guy?
Like a main character.
Is he the vet guy? Oh yeah, I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
Best and worst nudity. I'm trying to think what worst nudity means. I guess I don't know what these mean. Worst nudity.
Worst nudity. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's tough to have bad nudity. I mean, I guess someone's dick real close to the camera, I guess.
I mean, Jeffrey Rush and Quills, his dick's really small. But I don't even think it's bad. I mean, it's bad for him, but I don't think it's like bad, like best and worst nudity.
I mean, Schindler's List. I mean, you see some old man dick, some real old lady tits.
I'll tell you the most disturbing nudity, in my opinion, is when that woman gets killed in Munich.
Man, I haven't watched Munich in a long time. I love Munich.
That scene, do you remember that scene? That's the most disturbing scene Spielberg's ever done.
No, not really. I don't really remember.
It's this hot actress, and she like kills like one of their guys, and then they go to her to like, but she's like the femme fatale in the movie, you know? And then they go to her place to get her back to kill her, and she's like all hot, and she's in like her little house, and they come in, the Munich guys. And she's like, don't, you could use me. It would be such a waste to kill me. She takes out her tit, and then they just shoot her with like a little kind of like dart gun. And like her robe kind of falls off. And then she like goes over to like hold her cat, and she can't breathe. And they're like, where are you going? And then she falls over, and they leave her naked. It's just really disturbing.
It's so weird. That movie must have come out in what, like 06? I saw it twice in the theater, and I just loved it. And I haven't seen it since.
I'm surprised you don't remember that part. That crime is like that to me. That's up there with like in Casino when Joe Pesci gets killed. It's just like a really disturbing scene.
It's funny. One of the questions we got asked was like movie you saw once and loved it and never watched again. And Munich, I think I did see twice, but it's been a long, long time.
Florida Project for me.
Didn't that come out like 6 months ago?
Well, I've only seen it once. But it's a movie I love that I might have seen again, and I didn't because it's just like too hard.
The way your glasses are on your head, you look like an aviator, like 1941. Like it's just those fucking the goggles up on the head.
I like that look, like the Rescuers.
All right, let me find a couple more. I know you got to run, and I got to run.
Best nudity is blue is the warmest color.
Oh yeah, that's hot. Hey, why don't comedies hold up over time like other genres? I mean, that is such a great question. Isn't it one of the great questions, one of the great mysteries?
Yes. Well, maybe it's because why don't they hold up the way other movies? I think in a way, maybe it's because comedy is more honest about people's feelings of the time. And so like, because it's more honest about like the weaknesses in society, like it then feels more offensive later. It's definitely the idea too of like comedy, like people think comedy trivializes things, and they don't think that about dramas.
Right. Yeah, I guess that's part of it. But it's not just like, oh, that's offensive now. It's just like that's not funny now. Like with stuff that I thought was amazingly funny,
Oh, right. I guess I didn't.
people watch and they're like I think if my nephew watches Naked Gun, he's like, what? What is this? And same as like we watch
Yeah.
like you watch like A&E Evening at the Improv, like Larry Miller, you're like, this guy stinks, but he's like amazing. Or he was. He killed.
Yeah,
then.
that's a better way to look at the question. I thought he was saying why are things offensive now, but the things that are offensive are still funny. We just have to pretend they're offensive. You're right. It's more of like why aren't things funny anymore? Well, I mean, some things do hold up.
Some do, but most things don't. Most stand up. There's very few like A&E Evening at the Improv sets you watch and you're like, this is amazing.
Well, so there is an element of stuff where it's like, the musical Oklahoma.
I mean, I know of it.
So Oklahoma is considered a very traditional, one of these old traditional musicals, right?
Sure.
But Oklahoma was hugely controversial at the time, was basically experimental theater because it was the first musical that had like a cohesive story. Like musicals before that were just like a review. It had like a cohesive story and it opened without a chorus. It was like pretty much experimental and groundbreaking. But sometimes when things are this is where I'm going with this. You're probably wondering. Sometimes when things are so groundbreaking at first, they then become everyone else does it. And then you don't understand what's so good about them,
Right. Well,
that's why a lot of George Carlin stuff, you're like, is this funny? It just seems like he's making a point. You're like, back then, someone being like really angry and making a point had never been seen before,
Well, it's interesting because I think of Lenny Bruce, and somebody asked, one of the questions this week was, what do you guys think of Lenny, the Dustin Hoffman movie, which I love. I haven't watched that movie in 15 years, but I loved it when I was young.
I remember liking it. Yeah. But except for his stand, I still feel like he didn't get the stand up right.
The movie didn't get it right.
The movie didn't get it right. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think, so I think sometimes there are certain things like in 80s comedy where like maybe people hadn't seen that at the time, but now just it's become so like just you've had to do so much more now,
Yeah, there's something weird about it. It's like Richard Pryor, to me, like only one of his specials really, really holds up. The other ones have good moments and a lot of shit.
Live in concert?
Yeah, the Long Beach one.
Yeah, I've been watching that recently. It's what's so incredible about him is that
his jokes,
but also like he does so many act outs, but he does it so effortlessly. You don't even think of him as an act out guy. Like you think of Robin Williams all over the place. Yeah. He's just as much all over the place, but he's so effortless at it. You don't even think about it. He'll do a cat and a tomato and a fucking chair and a deer in like a matter of a minute. But he's just like a cool black guy on stage. You're not thinking of someone like jumping it. It's just the effortlessness of it is just incredible.
Yeah, he's the coolest and the greatest.
But I don't know why comedies. I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends. Like, what's a comedy that doesn't hold up, and then let's decide why not.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
I just assume they're just never funny to begin with. I guess
you hate all these John Candy things, like Blues Brothers. Sometimes it's just opinion. Like some people, I don't know if it's about hold up. You just don't like it, but like stand up as an example. I mean, this is a movie podcast, but like there's way more stand up comedy that killed in the 80s that nobody likes now than and even the 90s. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't find most of George Carlin. Like, obviously, it's stuff that's brilliant. I recognize the brilliance, but I'm not like laughing really.
I mean, I watched Wayne's World a couple years ago, and even Kingpin, and I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know.
I know, but then it's also like we know the jokes too, and it's also like it's a weird thing too. It's like maybe this is what it is too. We know the jokes, so when we see it again, we're like, oh, that's an old joke, but it's only an old joke for us because we saw it from then. So when you rewatch it, you're like, these kind of jokes have been done before. The movie normalizes that kind of shit, and then you watch it and you're like, I've already felt like I've seen this because you saw it from that fucking movie.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you and I agree a lot. With the more human ones, the jokes hold up.
That's still the thing. Big Lebowski, the Albert Brooks comedies, those movies are like character based, so they hold up. The jokey joke, but I still think Naked Gun holds up, honestly. So I don't know.
No, it does. It's hard to say. I got to be honest. I'm having a hard time doing any critical thinking. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I pinched a nerve in my neck. I got numbness in my shoulder. Somebody call in. I'm going to see a physical tomorrow.
The Jew whiny wave just came upon us.
I'm losing it. I'm
just Woody Allen out.
But I mean, Lost in America. You talk about Albert Brooks. I mean, like classic. Lost in America. He's in.
Why haven't we done those yet?
We always talk about. We never do. But
yeah,
he's riding in the RV. The motorcycle pulls up next to him. He gives the thumbs up. The guy gives him the finger. Albert Brooks just waves and puts his head down. That'll be funny when I'm 85 years old. It's fucking magical.
Him going up to the Hoover Dam.
You want to watch it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, him going up to the Hoover Dam from his POV, and it's like, it's beautiful. Which one of us should jump first? Which one of us wants to jump first?
I mean, go watch Lost in America. Fucking have a good laugh. But then you say this and people go, I watched it. I don't get it. It sucks. You're an idiot. So sometimes it's hold up. Sometimes it's expectations. I don't know. But to me, you watch that movie, you're not laughing. You're a fucking moron.
I'm now just confounded by the question. I'm like, every movie, every comedy I like, I still feel like I like the same way. So I don't know what doesn't hold up for me.
But there are movies I don't find. If we watched it for the first time now, you might be like, what?
But
that's where it's.
You can't know that if that's the thing. Yeah.
I know, but the closest you can get to knowing it is showing like your nephew, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah. Well, I haven't shown my nephew anything. I showed him E.T. He loved it.
Show him your dick.
I'll show him my dick.
I'll be like, no, I know. I have the exact same one.
Yeah. What's some other questions?
Oh, I thought you had to go. You said you had a timeout limit or whatever.
Oh shit, 6:30. Yeah, I should probably go in like 5 minutes.
All right, I'll give you one last one.
Is this Patreon or is this official?
This is an episode, I think.
This is an episode. Okay.
Is it?
I'm not disparaging it by asking. No, I don't know. Yeah, we can have this as an episode. We've been asking a lot of questions. We've been doing this Q&A a lot, though.
I know that's good. Well, I didn't have. Yeah. This is an impromptu. This is a.
Well, that's what I was saying. Maybe Patreon. I would say maybe. Okay, bonus. That's free.
This is a free bonus.
Okay,
but join the Patreon if you listen.
I'm sounding like a Jew. I'm like, let's charge them for it. You're like, let's make it free. Terrible. No, we got to charge them.
Somebody says, let's talk some John Carpenter. We should do some John Carpenter. I just watched The Thing, and I think that movie's great. I love that movie.
Thing is great. Halloween is something that does not hold up because that's just something like it's just a guy chasing a woman with a man. It's just stupid. But like The Thing, it's so dumb. It's like barely a story, But The Thing is great, and
Big Trouble in Little China, so fun.
In the Mouth of Madness. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. In the Mouth of Madness.
That movie is terrifying. Yeah, John Carpenter's great. Love John Carpenter.
Oh, okay. I got to check out In the Mouth of Madness. I don't even know that one, but I love Big Trouble in Little China. I love The Thing. Halloween's fun, whatever.
In the Mouth of Madness is about the Stephen King type guy who disappears, and this private eye played by Sam Neill tries to find him, and he actually ends up finding out that the town that he wrote all the stories in is real, and he goes to that town, and all the fucked up shit from his books is in that town.
Sorry, I gotta admit, I got distracted. I'll check it out another time. But here's the thing: I'm looking for questions, and somebody said, "I want you to discuss Sharon Stone's twat," and then he showed me a screenshot of the movie on Twitter with her pussy on it.
But you can't. Everyone acts like you could see her pussy. You can't really see her pussy.
Well, in this screenshot, you can.
Can you? I always feel like if it was like her pussy shot, I'm like, I can't. You can't really fully see it.
Well, it feels like you're a guy that has explored this. I feel like you paused, zoomed, got on your knees, and watch over the TV. I just feel
like people act like it's like the Loch Ness. You have to squint and really see it, but it's very shadowy. It's shadowy to the point where it's not a real official pussy shot, in my opinion.
Maybe that's an example of the best or worst nudity. I don't know.
That's worst nudity right there. Because it's overhyped. Ooh, the pussy shot. It's fucking shadows.
And then she claims she didn't know they were doing that, but that seems insane to me. I'm like, why would you have no panties on then?
She just had no panties. Well, but she did it. How could she not know she's doing it?
That's what I just said.
But
that's what she said. She later claimed that she had no idea that was happening, and she was upset. It was
like a crime. Kind of yeah, that seems like a crime then.
But also, you're like, wait, so you had no.
Well, maybe she thought the camera wasn't on her. Maybe she thought the camera was not on her legs.
I guess, but even I'm not trying to victim blame, but you must have known that you had chosen to wear no underwear.
Was she like, I meant to show my pussy to the film crew, but I didn't mean for them to film it. I don't understand why. It's not hard to understand. I wanted everyone on the crew to see my vagina, but not for them to be filming it at the same time.
It's weird. But anyways, okay, here's one, and then we got to wrap. Any movies you've seen that you strongly disliked the first time you saw, but ended up loving it upon revisiting it years later? For that, two of my all-time favorite movies ever, Pulp Fiction and Fargo, because I was 12 and 13.
You were 12 and 13.
I was 12. I watched Pulp Fiction. I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I was watching with my dad. I thought they were cops. I didn't understand any of it. It was just a lot of talking. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes long. There's a guy getting raped. It just, none of it made sense. It was complete insanity.
I would go so far to say you probably should have seen it. Yeah. At 12.
No, I mean, I just genuinely didn't know what they were doing.
It's so hilarious to imagine 12-year-old you watching just a guy get raped in the ass.
Yeah, with my dad. And it just, there was no narrative. I didn't know what heroin was. I didn't know what was coming out of her mouth. I didn't know what she was shooting. I thought she just like got a rabies shot or whatever.
That's hilarious.
It was strange. And then Fargo was similar because it's slow and they just a lot of like, yeah. And I was, 14. I was just kind of like, well, I guess I don't know what this is. And that one was upon like a second and third watching. It wasn't like Pulp Fiction took me a while to be like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to think for me. I tell you a movie that I did not really like that much the first time. And every time I watch it, I like it a little more, but I still don't fully get it as The Serious Man. I slowly find that movie.
Oh yeah, that's a tricky Coen Brothers movie.
It's a tricky one. It's weird. Everyone hates. It's like cold but it's interesting and I like it each time just a little bit more.
Yeah.
The Master. I hated the first time and kind of liked the second time. I would kind of appreciate it a little more the second time.
Right. There Will Be Blood. I did not. I enjoyed very much, but I wasn't like, this is the best movie ever. And then later I did.
I kind of still feel that way about There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I know. We talked about it.
We talked about that. Yeah.
We talked about it. You tried.
But yeah, I'm sure there's some other movies. Nothing's coming to mind right now. But yeah, those are definitely the ones I think of.
We should wrap because I know you got to go, and I got to start reading lines because I go back into production.
Oh, I'm glad you stopped the big shoot to have this little pod.
Yeah, we throw it out there. Well, people kept asking you to record with somebody else, and it hurts. So,
what if I did that and didn't even bring it up to you?
I had to come out of hiding. Like, what the fuck? I'm like Wally Pipp. You know Wally Pipp?
No. Baseball, foosball, hockey.
Wally Pipp, baseball. It's an actual complex. Wally Pipp's complex.
Who did he get replaced?
He was playing first base for the New York Yankees. He sat out a game. He was sick. Lou Gehrig came in and played 2,130 games in a row, a record that stood for like 90 years.
Wally Pipp said, God, give him some kind of disease so I can come back and
exactly.
Over. I just think it's so funny, the idea of me just doing it with someone else but not telling you, just thinking you wouldn't find out.
I'm just getting tweets. I'm like, what? What did he do?
It's so hilarious. I thought you would have known. I'm just
funny.
There with Gary Veter.
Veter. Yeah, right.
All right. Well, this is exciting. I'm glad we got to do this. And how much longer is the shoot?
It's like 2 more weeks, I think, or a little less than 2 weeks. We got, I think 11 more days of shooting.
Exciting. That's great.
5 down, 11 to go.
Can't wait to hear all about it. That's exciting. And yeah, I guess any plugs or
Helium, Philadelphia. Still, I keep plugging the same fucking gig for years. That's September 23rd, 24th, 25th, and then September 30th, October 1st, and 2nd. I'm at Ridley's. Is that his name? Mark Ridley's. Yeah, comedy.
Mark Ridley's. Yeah.
What the fuck's it called?
That's where I met my mentor, Kathleen Madigan. Yeah.
Royal Oak, Michigan.
I'm at Helium, Indianapolis this weekend. So come out because I did Raleigh. It was fun, but there's not that many people. But come out because I'm trying to headline more, but I'm not that big of a draw. So it's still fun, but it'd be cool if there's more people. So if you're there, I'm sounding desperate now, but come out and follow my YouTube channel.
Yes, go subscribe to Raanan's YouTube right now. You're on. If you're watching this on YouTube, Go to search Raanan, pull it up, and
And
subscribe.
for a purpose. I'm shooting a special in the fall. It's going to be on the straight white man's Netflix, YouTube, and I need people there to
And
watch.
give me some advice on a pinched nerve. I'm going to a physical therapist tomorrow. I did a thing. My neck was killing me for 2 days, and now I have pins and needles in my shoulders over here.
That really sucks. But hopefully they'll figure it out tomorrow.
It's not getting worse, and I'm seeing a professional tomorrow, so that's good. Just somebody write to me and go, that gets better. It takes a week. You're gay, and you're gonna be fine.
That's the greatest part in Seinfeld when he brings up the moles. Like, the doctor didn't give you you're crazy.
Maybe he's not a crazy guy. Part? Yeah, of course.
You're
not the mole though; it's the white thing on his lip.
Yeah, the white thing on his lip.
It's like a discoloration. All right.
All right.